Hello there, welcome to today's video. As we move through the different powerful lunar archetypes within Temple Body Arts, we move from the wild woman into the sacred dreamer. This is the time as women with wombs that we go deep into the stillness, the death, the listening. This is the new moon energy, the darkness, the fertile void. This is winter. And this is also loss. And today actually marks the day that I miscarried 7 years ago. And so I want to take this time to share a very vulnerable, potent initiation that I went through that truly shaped my life as a divine feminine mentor, leader, spiritual midwife, here to support you in birthing your gifts into the world. So brace yourself, prepare yourself for a deep initiatory story here that many women will connect and understand and resonate with. And it is not talked enough about, is this loss, is this grief? So 7 years ago today, I was being rushed to the emergency room here in Costa Rica because I was pregnant and I started to miscarry. And the bleeding did not stop. The bleeding did not stop, and my husband and my friend rushed me to the hospital. I lost so much blood that I actually had to have a blood transfusion in order to just be able to stand and take myself to the bathroom. This was such a deep loss, for I had been trying to get pregnant for over 5 years with my husband. And at the same time, within my womb, there was so much that I was feeling. I was feeling this deep desire to be a mother, to have a child. I was feeling this deep desire and knowing that I was here to bring my voice to the world, to support other women in deep embodiment of their own purpose. But I didn't know exactly how. And so this was part of my whole journey. And it was really through this deep initiation and deep loss that I was able to go deep within myself and do the inner work, and so much gratitude for the lineage that I'm carrying. So I'm 4th generation in Subud, which is this beautiful spiritual movement rooted in Indonesia that is really about being in divine alignment with God, Creator, and recognizing that we are here to live in alignment and purpose with our service here. And so I have been in this deep practice, the spiritual practice, and let me tell you that this depth and spiritual roots within me supported me in being able to navigate through one of the darkest times. And so I remember a moment actually going through that experience of healing and integration after the miscarriage, and looking into the mirror in my bathroom and just looking into my eyes and meeting myself in the grief and allowing myself to just let the grief move through me and let the tears come through me. And I was aware that there was this story playing out of the victim, of why me? You know, I've been trying so hard, everyone else is having babies, and like, why me? Why am I losing this? And it was really through this experience and looking into my eyes and accessing the resources that were within me. And there was this deep knowing that everything that happens to me happens for me. I knew this on a deep level. So that human part of me was definitely grieving and was, beginning to go into the victim. But then there was this other part of me that was present within my womb, within my body, that was helping guide me through this experience to say, hey, like, actually, you are fertile. Like, let's celebrate that you are fertile, that your womb felt what it was like to start to have life within it and grow. And through this experience, it actually brought me deeper into my womb than I ever had before. And this was the beginning of me then going and actually dialoguing with my womb in my studio, and actually beginning to create some temple body arts practices. I didn't call them that in that moment, I didn't know, but these practices with yoni eggs, with yoni gems, with infusing these crystals with my intention, with what I was rewriting within my very womb, that from the victim into the sovereign creator of, like, actually, I am here to listen deeply to my womb. I know I am here to share my voice, to birth something bigger into the world. And it was a journey. It did not happen overnight, and it's been 7 years now, and there were layers and layers. But I want to let you know that it was really through this experience and this initiation and being able to access my spiritual understanding that was living within me, of really surrendering this experience up to the divine and recognizing that this was part of my journey of birthing myself, the leader within me, the embodied feminine leader, the divine feminine leader and mentor and spiritual midwife. And it was through the next year, really, that I then consciously chose to actually not try to get pregnant again and to let that desire go, because I could feel my purpose here as a spiritual midwife, here to birth, to be part of the birthing of a new paradigm, and that I was needed to be a mother in many ways. We are here as the mother archetype that can come through in many different ways. The old patriarchy paradigm way is that we must have a child and that is mother. But no, we are birthing a new paradigm, and it looks very different. And many of us as leaders are choosing to not have children. Or maybe we're not consciously choosing, but it's being chosen for us. So just receiving and accepting what is happening, and through that experience being able to actually come into a place of full surrender and claiming my purpose, my mission here to be a midwife and a mother to so many. And that it was through that initiation and that deep loss 7 years ago that I had the courage to birth Temple Body Arts Mystery School. It was really through that spirit baby that came in while I was pregnant that told me, you need to clear your entire schedule, you need to clear everything, and you need to birth your school now. And I listened. I was like, what do I have to lose here? Like, this is the guidance. And when I did lose this child and almost lose my life through losing so much blood, I was able to truly give myself fully to birthing this school and trusting that this was my path. And it is through the sacred dreamer archetype, this archetype that we are called into as women every month when we bleed, or if we move out of our bleeding times and we're pregnant. It's actually when we're pregnant that we're in this deep sacred dreamer time. And as we move through menopause, sacred pause, we have the capacity to tune into all of these different archetypes through the moon and through the seasons. We are cyclical beings. We are here to birth ourselves, to birth our gifts, to birth movements, to birth a new paradigm. As the Dalai Lama said, it will be the Western woman that will save this planet, that will save this earth. And that is us deeply listening, nurturing, tending to ourselves, to our wombs, to all that wants to birth, and honoring what wants to birth. And so as I sit here now, 7 years later, just coming out of my sabbatical that I did not plan, my womb literally screamed to me exactly 7 years after getting pregnant for the first time. I started to bleed and not stop for 3 weeks. And I had this surgery to remove a polyp. And through that experience, in the deep listening, I was able to recognize that it was time for me to pause, to stop. After 7 years of birthing, of holding space, of holding this container, that something new wanted to come through, and honoring that 7-year cycle, honoring my womb, going into stillness, into pause, back into sacred dreamer in my sabbatical, which a sabbatical is actually after 7 years usually. So I did not plan this. My womb is in this cycle. Like, our wombs are cyclical. And so every 7 years we are completely shifting and rebirthing. And so I want to invite you to reflect on any big initiations in your life, especially around your womb. Ladies tuning in here with wombs, reflecting and listening and taking the time to truly listen, especially as feminine leaders here. We have to listen. This is about new paradigm leadership. We're not here to put our agenda on something or be like, I know what I'm doing, because it's constantly evolving and shifting and changing. And we have to take the time to go in and listen and receive and reflect. And then we make actions from that space. And so I hope you can receive this story, this initiation that I went through, that I am so grateful for, because it was through that spirit baby that came in and that deep initiation of almost losing my life and everything that finally brought me onto the track of birthing the Temple Body Arts Mystery School that is here to support other women, divine feminine leaders who feel the call to support the birth of a new paradigm, to support the awakening of humanity. And that is why I offer my Temple Body Priestess initiation, which is this deep rite of passage here in Costa Rica, that I offer to feminine leaders to guide us deep back into the womb, to listen, to bring us into our temple bodies, and to listen to what needs to still be rewritten, any old stories or beliefs from our lineage that we are carrying. What is being called to come forth now? How are you being called to show up and to serve? We have to come from a place of fullness, from a place of connection, from a place of divine alignment, in order to truly live our Dharma, our purpose, to be in absolute alignment with the Creator. And so I am here as a spiritual midwife and guide and mentor to bring women who feel the call and are ready into this deep lineage, into this community, into this way, this path of temple body arts. And it begins with ourselves, it begins with our wombs, it begins with coming back home to ourselves and into this deep remembrance. And this is the power of our blood, of our sacred wombs, of sisterhood. And so thank you for being here. If you enjoy and feel a resonance and inspiration from these videos, I invite you to like, to subscribe, to share, and please comment below how this story has touched you today. Is there anything that you have moved through in your life that you still need to integrate in order to come into wholeness and healing? Because you are already whole, you are not broken, you do not need to be fixed. You have everything within you in order to live in absolute accordance with your divine will. And I am here to support you. Thank you. Namaste.